Rule 42. All persons more than a mile high must leave the court immediately.
1, 2, 3, 42.
Today's rule is rule number 16. It's always up to you.
Hey guys, got any good plans this weekend? I know Audrey does.
I know Tommy does.
I know I can't come.
Ah!
I'm so sad.
Jen's sitting on our trip to Maine. We're going to go see Giselle in Waitress at Maine.
So excited. I can't wait to see her.
Going to be her and her Broadway cast. It's going to be pretty impressive. And then we may see Rich Bohan, but he's got the weed farm. We had him on the show, but we can't get a hold of him because he's either, maybe he's high or he's busy.
He forgot he interviewed with us.
So we may do like just a raid on the farm.
A random drive-by.
Yeah, that's it, drive-by. But we'll have all the details for you guys, and we'll talk about it in future episodes, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially that 4.5 hour drive in one direction.
Oh, that's not a bad drive. That's your drive
all the way up to like somebody's.
Algonquit.
Algonquit.
It's an Indian.
Algonquit.
But your drive from Miami to Orlando is 4 hours, isn't it?
It's like 3 hours or 3.5.
Sometimes you drive. It's 3.5.
I know, I have to.
Jen, do you have plans? Are you stuck home doing things?
No, I have different plans with family. I was gonna go visit my aunts, and then I got.
Okay, we need to understand the importance behind this, like visiting her aunts. Now, drum roll, please. How old are they?
One of them is 94 and the other one's 91. So my goal was to bring them to my house, but I feel like it might be too far of a ride, an hour ride, and then coming to my whole patio stone, and they're
it's wonderful.
I don't want to be in trouble.
Where are they? Where do they live?
They're in Mamaroneck. Oh. My whole family lives in New York. So
cool.
I'm gonna do a quick drive-by visit and then go see some other family.
That's amazing. That's super cool to just be able to like bask in some of that wisdom from people who lived 90 years.
Well, that's how my grandma was. My grandma
it was like 147 or something.
112.
Right? Okay.
So, but at 90, she was like a 60-year-old. Like she was still doing stuff and like walking around. So. Yeah, I think she wasn't like walking anymore. I think she was like 108 or something like that.
Wow.
Old, like where you were like, okay, she's like a grandma now. Because before that, she was like doing everything. She was cooking. She was. Yeah.
There's people who are like 42 and they're like grandmas already.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, my grandma was amazing.
Wow.
She was an awesome person.
So we'd love to hear about your aunts, and we'll tell you about our trip to Maine. And today we're going to have on a guest who is an intuitive medium. So this should be interesting. I'm curious where this is going to go. I wish a psychic could tell us where it's going to go, but
I know.
You know.
Well,
where's the show going?
Neither one of us are mediums, so we can't tell you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Same here.
Hopefully in an interesting direction. What?
We'll see. So sit back and enjoy. We have Erin Stabile on. She was an intuitive medium. So enjoy the show.
Yeah. Let's go, Erin.
1, 2, 3, 42.
Hi, Erin. Welcome to Rule 42. I'm Audrey.
Hi, Erin. I'm Jen. Very nice to meet you.
We're so excited to know more about you. Fuck, you looks like you got a dude standing behind you. It really freaked me right out.
Oh,
love it.
yes.
Immediate.
And there it is.
What?
There we go.
With our previous discussion, I can't really see, but is it Johnny Depp? Because that'd be like aces.
No, it's Harry Styles.
Now, come on.
It's my daughter.
And the boa didn't give it away? No. Johnny did. Johnny Depp's elaborate.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is elaborate.
Yeah, got a little thing going.
I'm old, so we gotta go like Christian Slater, Johnny Depp. We gotta go like old. Oh, I love Johnny Depp. I'm all about some Johnny Depp. I actually was obsessed with the whole deposition.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
They're replaying it on IDTV. It's like,
because
it's awesome. I feel like I need to, like, I mean, though, seriously, like, who doesn't want to just go shit on somebody's bed? Like, really? Like, I mean, if you haven't really thought about it, like, are you really, like, a person?
What did you call it? She left a little ugly? No, she said it was like a term. Like, she left.
She said it was the dog's poop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
No, but I think Johnny Depp said she left a little grumpy on his bed, right? That's what it was, right?
A little
That
grumpy.
seems like a lot grumpy. Like, that's like morning
That's
taco.
not grumpy. That's like, girl done lost her mind.
Yeah.
That's I'm done.
I'm done being human now.
This is my final statement. If you don't get it out of this, then there ain't nothing I can do.
Well, welcome to our show. Obviously, we go all over the place,
I've been
including
with that.
adding Harry Styles.
We are easily distracted.
We are.
You gotta put a new face on it every time and just you see if people catch on. Like, put out a new face.
We've talked about dressing him in different clothes and like creating more of them back there.
Or just like having more going across, maybe.
Ooh, put shirts on them like New Kids on the Block or like.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, different boy bands.
Well, now we have to dress him up as Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
do it.
I mean, if we're gonna rep, we rep it all the way.
Harry.
Harry, bye, Harry. You're out.
Harry, you're getting replaced by Johnny Depp. Sorry.
So, Erin, I need to know more about what an intuitive medium is.
So, really, I mean, a lot of people think of the word psychic, but, you know, that gets blacklisted pretty fast on social media. Psychic, intuitive medium, so I connect with spirits, my spirit team, your spirit team, loved ones, whatever. But my focus isn't really connecting with people's loved ones because it's just not, I don't know, it's just not that exciting. I mean, it kind of is, but I like the bigger stuff. So I work a lot in past lives.
We like big.
I like the big. So guiding other people is to like expand their gifts and connect to their gifts. And mine all really came out of my anxiety, my panic, like my last desperate attempt to not be a complete shit show for the rest of my life. So it was 39. It was like the final countdown, the final
Well,
showdown.
so I was gonna say, like, when did this happen? Like, was this one of like you woke up one day and you're like, fuck?
It was like the final, like I'm fucking done. So I was 39. I have a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, anxiety, panic since I was like 2 or 3 is when I remember it starting. So my mom died at 16, just made things way worse. So I just really, nothing ever helped. Therapy, medication, you know, all of the traditional stuff. Then you have kids and like nobody ever talked. Well, I'm old, so they didn't talk about postpartum when I had kids. So it's like, I was like, holy fuck, I can't wait to get rid of this kid. And I had no idea what was really going on. Like, I couldn't wait to go to work and I hated my job. So I was like, okay, that doesn't seem right, but okay. And, you know, so everything just got worse. They're like, you're depressed, you need medication. And I didn't even know I had anxiety panic until I was like early 20s. And they're like, that's anxiety. I'm like, oh, so I black out and I can't breathe and like, that's panic and anxiety? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and so like at 39, 2 kids, husband, you're living life. And I hated my life, hated it. Love my husband, love my kids, but hated it. Like you go to work, you take care of other people, you make sure they have all of their challenges and disabilities, their IEPs, doctor's appointments, teachers crap. Like, have they done their homework?
Life becomes everyone else's.
Yeah. And you're just like, you know, you're kind of a mom to your husband as well. Sorry.
No,
You
you totally are.
Yeah,
And that's
you
okay,
are.
because they have moments where they kind of take on that role of like a caretaker for us. But we are definitely we mommy them, and that's just kind of
Yeah. Like,
know?
you know, who else has a family calendar that nobody fucking looks at? I mean, that thing,
Oh,
it has alerts on it. So it tells you where to be, and they still can't figure it out.
No, they call
yeah,
you.
no.
What do we
We
have?
Where am I supposed to be?
Today?
Do I got to take them somewhere? Am I just like,
Not look on the
Can I feed
Like-
them now?
it literally has the address and the time you need to be there. Like, I put it in the title of the event. So, you know, you just like, and since my mom died at a young age.
Guilty of this. That's the look on his face. So that's
Look,
why
Okay, well, fuck, I really need to do something extra for my wife.
No,
Really,
no,
he does do stuff, but
Let me defend the guys because there's
I
some.
got-
Yeah, I partially agree with you, Erin. In a lot of ways, yes, but in a lot of ways, also no. So I do pay attention to the calendar. I do not.
the part of him that likes a vagina agrees.
My husband pays attention to it too. He just doesn't, you know, follow it or
He knows-
understand it.
He knows it's there, just
Then
not.
I see it, I don't know how to accept it. I'm like, holy fuck, it shows up on your calendar whether you accept it or not. It's not fucking rocket science. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
All right, no, listen, I'm all over the sports part of it. I got that down.
Yeah, you can remember every sports fucking statistic
Yes.
for the last 40 years. When's your anniversary? What time did you give birth? What time's your medication? No.
Well, those dates usually coincide with some type of like, you know, monumental sporting event for Tom. So
Oh, not fair. Not fair.
Remember when that guy broke his leg in the World Series? It was the best game ever. 1994.
No.
I was sitting on the toilet when it happened.
I think I saw you that day.
What?
What day did you give birth? I'm not real sure.
Partially for. No, I remember all my kids' birthdays.
That's when they text the kid. When were you born?
Guys are getting
That
slack.
husband asks his mom. When's their anniversary?
That's good. At least he asked somebody.
Yeah.
Even though it's in our calendar.
The one that you guys all share and have access to?
Yeah.
Oh, that you can actually change, like,
And my kids don't even know when my birthday is. You know, it's on the calendar. They're like, hey, you know, my birthday's coming up. They'll tell you. I'm like, yeah.
who's this Erin on here?
Fucking people.
Somebody needs to call Erin. It's her birthday.
Sorry, Tom. What were we saying? I'll kind of
good.
believe you.
I am very involved and very aware of what's going on in my house. Yes,
As long as
Wives
it's all
do-
tacky.
no, not true. Wives do a little bit of mothering, even for their husbands. I agree with that 100%. But husbands also do a little bit of fathering for their wives, too. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there. Really?
Yeah, no, I feel
This
like.
bitch cleans and fixes everything in this house.
Oh, no, Gus is my fixer. I don't fix any.
I can't say it's every man, and I can't say that it's a dumb. My husband works hard. You know what I mean? He does, like, it's just, there's a lot of those, like, daily things that I shouldn't have to, like, ask or put on a fucking calendar. And it just, when you know, your kid has to be here, this kid has to be here. And then now that they're old enough, I feel like sometimes they're colluding with my husband because I'm the mean enforcer. Then I'm like the one who has to do all of the work. And then they're all the ones like,
I stopped doing it. Oh, period. I just stopped. I mean, granted, my children also stopped going to activities, but
oh, if that's the best day of your life.
But again, it took 2 people to make them. It
Yeah.
is not my responsibility to know everyone's schedule and take care of everything on top of everything else and know where everybody's stuff is.
Seriously.
Everyone needs to be responsible for their own shit. And guess what? The same way I can go on Google and Google a program to see what their schedule is so that I know where my kid needs to be, the father can do the same thing. So that is our responsibility because we took it upon ourselves. And what gets told by the majority of people when you ask them, well, why do you do it? Because if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. Well, it's getting done because you're doing it, but it's also getting done because you're surrounded by people that are expecting you to do it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
It's definitely a thing. And it's something that you just get more conscious of. Like my kids, I have a 19-year-old who's an adult. And then I have a boy that just turned 15. So they're a little bit older. You know, it's a whole new parenting game as teenagers. But
Oh, I have older kids, so I totally get it. I have a 22, 20, 18, 16, 12, so.
I don't know. I don't know what the good age is, but when they're nice and like you, I think I like that better.
Oh, okay. So I have 7,
But
so
they
I have
need
a
you
child in
more.
every phase.
Yeah, Audrey's got kids every year, basically.
So my almost 2-year-old is still my favorite person right now.
Yeah, they're nice. They want to hug you. They want to
Yeah.
talk to you. They want to draw you pictures. They want you in their life. Like sometimes I'm like, fuck, when's the last time I talked to my kid? Well,
And
it's
when
not
he
even
wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's a different story. Then it's like, Dad. Then mommy felt loving so much. Mommy
week
did 2 a.m.s while she was pregnant.
This week on Parenting with Audrey, Jenn, and Erin.
Don't do it. No.
I know.
Wait.
As they get older,
That's
you're kind of like,
Wait.
Travel.
Travel. Yeah, travel. Do
Take
you
time
love it before
don't
you have the
rush
kids.
it, man.
Don't rush it. There's so much time to like experience like parenting and
Let's think about it this way. In your 40s, you're pretty tired. So, like, you don't want to go and do shit. So, have fun
No.
in your mid-30s and then, like, enjoy your 20s. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, like, I was, like, mid-20s. I was, like, 26 with my daughter and 30 with my son. So, it's not horrible. But, you know, there wasn't a lot of life in there. You just, like, oh, do all that.
how old was I with Aiden? 39. Wait, no, 38.
38. 38.
Yeah. That was, holy crap. I was like, why is my body feeling this? I did not feel like this when I was 20 and pregnant.
No, seriously. You like bounce right back. You're like, hey.
Yeah, no. Every decade, the body doesn't bounce back from whatever it's doing. It doesn't matter. It's like,
It doesn't matter. It does not matter what it's doing.
I remember I was like 2 weeks into being 40 and I was like, why can't I read this pill bottle all of a sudden? And the doctor's like, welcome to 40. I'm like, it was literally last week.
You hate when they say that.
I'm like, okay, I'll take 5. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So again, the intuitive medium. I just need to, I'm sorry. I'm so ADHD. It's not even funny. But I circle back because I do need to know what this is. Okay. And I understand you it's psychic in terms of communicating with
yeah. So for me, how it works, yes. And when let's say I have a session with one or both of you, how I do it is I connect to your soul, basically. I know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're telling me, but what's really happening. So your spirit team helps me with that, and so working with people, they're like, oh, I do this and I do this. And spirit's like, no, they don't. So I know that you're fucking lying. When I mentor people, when I do things, and they're like, I'm doing all the things, and still not. I'm like, you're not. And I know you're not. So why are you trying to convince me you know what I mean? So it really helps you to call people out. I call them out in a good way. What is the point of doing this work if you're not going to do something to change? So, this whole thing came about for me at 39. When I had gastric sleeve surgery, I was at my highest weight. I had fallen in 2012 and hurt my left leg. Really, my leg was up behind my head, and I broke my ankle, tore my ACL. Ow. And it took a year.
What were you doing?
Carefully. I was in a mud run. I was 30 seconds in, and I lifted my leg over a hurdle because I didn't want to jump because I know that I'm not jump capable. And literally, so my foot's up here, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And you just hear it snap, and then it just pulls out full more, and it snaps. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm dragging myself around, it was...
You kept going?
No, the paramedics were like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I should probably go to the hospital, because I'm pretty sure some things are broken. And they fucking watched me crawl across the ground.
No.
Yeah, there was 6 of them. They're they just watched me. So I dragged myself to get a fence, crawled myself under the fence, try to pull myself up into a gator, keep falling because my leg keeps buckling under me, and they're just staring at me.
Oh my God.
I had to army crawl myself to the front of the gator, and then we couldn't drive our cars to this place because it was there was no parking, so I had to get myself on a bus. So it took me 5 months for them to convince me something was wrong with my knee. So through this whole process, my leg, it just took I had to have ACL surgery, all this stuff. And they're like, your ankle's not healing and blah, blah, blah. They're like, you need to walk. I'm like, I can't. Nobody was listening. So after a year after that, then my other leg kind of something, they never found it, but my other knee completely, I had this simple meniscus tear, but through all of the MRIs and whatever, doctors didn't catch it. So fast forward 6-7 years later, I need to have a high tibial osteotomy because I have bone on bone. So at 38, I was like, I want to be physical. I want to do sports. I want to try. I want to hike. I want to be able to take my kids to a parade. And, and so he's like, to not do a knee replacement, let's do a high tibial osteotomy. So they cut a big chunk of my leg out, and they try to redo how your leg is so that because I was walking my foot out like a penguin. So taking this bone out, but he's like, I'll be honest, at your weight, you can't do it. So I was like, oh,
well, how big did you get?
I was 326 pounds, and being non-weight bearing for 3 months is what I was when I had that surgery. I couldn't do it at that. He goes, I'm going to be honest. He goes, you're going to, and I had a hard time at 220 pounds on crutches for a year. So, I just really evaluated and I'm like, I could lose weight on my own, but weight has been something I've struggled, eating disorders since I was about 11, 12. And I was like, I'm done. I just told my husband, I'm like, I'm done. I can't. And so I went through the process of having gastric sleeve surgery. So in that,
you look amazing. Sarah,
it's been up and down, and it's up and down still. But in that recovery process, I just really threw out. I was like, because it was over Christmas of 2017, and I said, I really broke up with God when my mom died. Because I was like, why would you take the one person, my only person? And so I really kind of gave God the FU at 16. So I just really put out to the universe. I'm like, I don't know what I need, but I need something. I can't go on with life like this anymore. And within a couple of weeks, I met my spiritual mentor, and she's like, you need to learn Reiki, be attuned to Reiki, so for chronic pain, so you can do it for yourself. So I'm like, okay, because I prefer natural things anyways. Because, years and years and years on ibuprofen, I didn't really ever take painkillers except after surgery because there's very much addiction in my family. So years and years and years of being in so much pain. And then so I started Reiki. So I started to really connect to myself, meditate, and with ADHD and all of anxiety and panic, it took me a long time. But what really happened was I really started to connect with spirit at the same time. And as I started to like heal mentally from trauma, pain, all of the shit I was holding on to, because I didn't know what to do with it. When you don't know what to do with emotions, pain, loss.
How did you
fear,
get that healing process? Because you said that you started to heal.
So what I started to do was I started with Reiki. So Reiki is just, you kind of connect with your chakras, you clear them. But it was really, for me with Reiki, it was very much intuitive. So spirit really, and a lot of spirit stuff made sense to me because I've had a lot of spirit stuff my whole life. I just didn't get it. But as I started to connect with my body, which I never intentionally had done, I ate, I cleaned myself, but I never really gave myself, you know what I mean, any type of attention. So when I started to do that and connect to myself and my chakras and my body and started to meditate, so I started to use meditation. Like every time I meditated I had one intention. What do I need to do to understand this, heal from this, process this? And spirit would bring it forward. So I would clear it in there. It's like, holy shit. I just felt that leave my soul. So I kept doing Reiki. I got attuned to mediumship. I mean, this was all within 6, 7, 8 months. And then like at 7, 8 month mark, I started to do past life work. So it went deeper. But, every single day I was committing to myself, uncovering our pain and our trauma sucks. It sucks. And we stuff it down for a reason because we don't know what to do with it. So what I started to learn to do for myself was let it go, process it. Why is it coming up? What do I do about it? Instead of continuing, spirit's like, don't stuff it. So everything that came up, whether it was a conflict or a trigger or something pissed me off, I started to process it instead of stuff it down. So it became a new process for me. So as I was releasing and letting go, I call it the mind fuckery. So as I was able to like let things go, my anxiety reduced, my panic reduced, my depression reduced. And I was like, wait, I don't feel 24/7. Like I'm up all night, my anxiety, my heart rate, like almost a whole year before I kind of had gastric sleeve and started my spiritual work. My heart rate was so high at night, I thought I was dying. So I did every cardiologist test possible. Like I did 30-day Holter monitor because my heart rate was so out of control. Like I was going to go to the ER every night. And they're like, you're totally fine. I'm like, the fuck I am. I'm not fine.
I'm only laughing because Jen was recently in Florida with me. And I kept looking at her and going, I think I'm having a heart attack. And I don't want to admit it.
That's what I started to learn was I had always helped other people my whole life because I never got help in return. Nobody ever helped me. When I gave, I always hoped somebody would be there for me in return, and it never happened. So I just stopped expecting anything in return and just continued to help others. And even though I didn't really know, that I was an intuitive or anything like that, I just always helped others. So what I started to understand was, as I started to do energy protection and clearing every day, I started to understand that I was so overwhelmed and my anxiety was so bad because it was other people's shit. It wasn't mine. So I'm helping yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I have a panic attack. I have a headache. I have a stomach ache. I'm going to poo myself. Like whatever it is, Mary gets to walk away from me feeling like sunshine and roses and I feel like ass. So, but it's fine to take that on for people, but you need to let it go the immediate. So now as a skilled intuitive medium, like I know, I open up when I'm working with people and then I'm done. I clear it immediately. So what I started to realize was, wait, why? Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not having like anxiety all day long? Why am I not blacking out? And it was like, wait, why do I have mental freedom? Why am I not like over, like, you know what I mean? Because when you're always in that anxiety state, it's all day, every day, all night, in the middle of the night. Oh my God, did I answer that email? Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? Like when your anxiety rules your life, you're just like, but when you start having mental freedom, you're like, wait, am I forgetting something? Am I supposed to be doing something right now? Like, it's a whole new process. Like, hold on, I got to check my calendar. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. So, it's a whole different life when you're really in control of your energy and your space. And anxiety, panic, depression, it's still all part of me. It's just no longer in control of me. And I guess my PSA is always, it's always up to you. You have to find what works for you. Traditional medication, therapy, traditional methods did not work for me. This completely shifted my life. So, maybe it's a combination of stuff for you, but you can't go into anything with a closed mind. And you have to not stop making excuses. I just stopped trying to find anything for 15 years because nothing worked. You know what I mean? So why keep trying? And it's really that space of, you know, what do you want? Where do you want to be? And, you know, you have to, I don't know, you have to start putting yourself first. I don't care how old your kids are as a mom, whatever, partner, whatever you are. If you don't start putting yourself first, nobody else is either. So, you know, it's a
and the judgment will come
in your life. Yeah.
The judgment comes.
Yeah. And fuck them.
Because that's where I am now.
Matter. Nobody. The only people that matter are your spouse, your partner, and the people living in your house.
Exactly.
You know, if you're constantly doing for you and neglecting them, that's one thing. But if you're like, no, I'm going to take an hour for myself, you need to leave me the fuck alone. Or I'm, you know, you're going to dad, I'm taking you to grandma's, whatever. And I need to go sit in my car by myself for an hour or whatever. Like there's a big difference between that and like literally just go see your family. You know what I mean? Like I told my husband when I started this, I was like, I need to be able to do this. I need you to keep the kids quiet. I need, you know, and you have to start speaking up for yourself. What do you want? What do you need? And you probably don't even know that because you're so used to giving to other people. So,
I think a lot of us get so lost when we have a family because we're used to being the one that's taken care of. And then all of a sudden, and we don't all have the same storyline. So I come from a lot of trauma and my storyline from my ex's storyline are very, very different. But it was a balance in that time when I needed that in my life. And I don't know. I don't think that people give enough credit to each other because it's very hard to like understand someone that's going through something that they've never experienced. And the fact that they're even willing to try speaks volumes about anyone. And for those that are suffering, dude, it speaks volumes about you just being able to go out there willingly and be like, you know what? I know there's something wrong with me, but I also know that I'm in a position that I should be loved. And it is okay to expect the same that I give out in return. So, but then all of a sudden you become a mom and it's like, well, I want to be a better parent than my parents were, or I don't want my kid to experience this trauma. And that becomes your sole focus for so long that you lose yourself, you lose your relationships, you lose so much of your own identity and you just get so lost. And it's okay to say, hey, wait, what about me? Because you forget. And dude, it happens. Your priority shifts. It's no longer, and I'm not saying that my kids, because this is where I am at in my life. I'm not saying my kids are not a priority to me anymore. I love them. Everything I've done has been for them. However, I lost so much of myself in it that I forgot that I mattered too. And I'm still in that in between where I do shit. What am I forgetting? Who am I forgetting about? What did I not get accomplished today? And it's like, holy shit, wait a minute. No, you're one person. You created 6 human beings. You were not alone doing that. And some of them are old enough to now start to realize, hey, you know what? If this clears 5 minutes for my mom, me just taking this garbage out to the trash can.
Oh my God, yeah.
That matters. But we have to be willing to say and willing to sit down and be like, no, I'm putting my foot down. You're fucking giving me those 5 minutes because I fucking deserve those 5 minutes. And you're getting your ass up off the fucking TikTok phone and putting the damn trash in the garbage. It's okay.
I know it's really interesting because like my son, he just turned 15 like 2 weeks ago, and whatever he's choosing as a freshman to not do his English homework for 2 months.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I lost my mind. And you know, what our expectation is, their job is their schoolwork. Like, I shouldn't have to be your fucking pirate at this point. You need to start figuring out, you know, how to whatever. So after school, I was like, I just lost it. And I was like, you know, I'm a prisoner here because all I have to do is keep all of you people alive. But nobody gives 2 fucks about me or what I need. Or, you know, I said, all we ask is that you do your homework, son. And if you need help, because they took him off his IEP last year because he's doing better. I'm like, if we need you on your IEP, if you need back your medication, then we need to have that discussion. but your job is this. And if you're not,
They didn't transition to a 504. They just took the IEP away.
Yeah, they don't transition to
Really?
unless
How?
and I should have. So he just kind of looked at me, didn't say anything. Went to his my mother-in-law lives a few blocks, so my husband is close, and we're close with her. And his dad passed away like 2 years ago. We were close to all of them, and my son texted me, and he's like, I'm really sorry. I didn't know you felt like a prisoner. And I'm like, you really think the way you treat me is acceptable? And I said, I really don't want to have this conversation. I just need to not talk to you right now, And then I'm like, oh my God, am I gaslighting him? And I'm like, no, because why shouldn't he hear how he makes me feel? And, and he texted me and he's like, I'm really sorry. And we had this thing to do. And I asked the kids to go help me do it. Most of the time they won't. So I'm like, fine, it takes me 6 hours to do it by myself. He's like, I want to help you. I'm like, I would rather not, because I don't want to listen to you bitching, whining, complaining. I said, I would rather just do it myself. He goes,
Amen.
No, and he goes, I'm really sorry. He goes, I didn't know that, you felt like you were a prisoner. Because I feel really bad. I'm like, yeah, because your dad's sitting next to you and told you to say something. And he's like, no, Dad didn't say anything. And I'm like, but it was, at least he had a little bit, you know what I mean, of, oh God, Mom is going to lose it. You know what I mean? But it's such a hard mix in a place. You got to navigate your family, you navigate your clients, you navigate your relationship. Like, as your kids get older, your relationship with your partner changes too. Like, all of that stuff shifts and changes. And you're like, oh, okay, now what? Like, do you even like each other? Then what? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many elements that come in there. Like, okay, like, we haven't been alone and I don't know how long. It's like,
no, because everything becomes about the kids and what you're doing for them and what they need. And it's just, it gets a little crazy.
You don't really know who each other are anymore. Even when you try to like build something with your partner outside of like your children, you go somewhere and you fucking talk about your children.
You're talking about the kids.
So then you get to a state where like they're all leaving and it's kind of like, well, I'm here with a stranger now.
Mm-hmm. Because it's not like you've grown apart, but you haven't grown together either. No. I mean, I can't say that not everybody, but you kind of, you just kind of, and then you have to figure out how you come back together, like, do you come back together? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this space. Like, do you even, most people just stay in relationships for complacency. Like, my big thing, like, with my trauma and my stuff, like, my parents had a horrible fucking relationship. Thank God they divorced by the time I was in 3rd grade, but that is not without an extensive amount of damage. So for me, when I see people like, I'm just gonna wait till they graduate, I'm like, that is the worst fucking idea.
No,
like, you're teaching them to be miserable. Like they're way better off figuring out how to navigate 2 separate households than they are watching people with this relationship and
they start to think that that's a normal.
Yeah.
You don't want
like that. That is what a relationship embodies, and it's really not.
No.
And it's because I've had this argument with people before about, well, I want to stay in it for the kids. And it's just kind of like, well, do you really think that the kids don't know that you fucking hate each other? Yeah. Or that what's going on, the yelling, the putting down, the belittling, like, these kids hear all of this. Mm-hmm. And you are now fostering this idea that this is normal. And so now you've normalized an unhealthy relationship, a toxic relationship for them. And they're now going to go continue and do the exact same thing. Yeah. And is that really like, that's what, all because you want to do what's best for the children? No, you're doing what's best for you because you're afraid to be alone.
Yeah. And that's like at the precipice. My mouth isn't working today. Like, to people is, so you want to tell your daughter in 10 years when you see her getting into the exact same thing that, oh, it'll be fine. Like, it's like, no, like, you want more for your kids. I mean, 99.9% of parents want more for their kids, like, it's like that. By that time, they've already seen that, like, my husband and his parents, like, my father-in-law just passed away within 2 years ago, but they were still married. Like, my husband grew up and I had to start taking care of myself and my brother from like 7. You know what I mean? Like, I never had anybody to take care of me ever. So like, he grew up in a completely different way, in different manner, and it's different. I'm like, you just have no idea, and I look back to, like, could I have been in a different relationship where somebody took care of me? No. when I met my husband, I couldn't have been in a relationship where I gave any control to somebody else, because that when my mom died, Uber control was when it really, my survival Uber control really took over. So, and that's how I've tried to shift now. Like I don't need to do that anymore. So, where are we at? And people have to really evaluate that. Like, your trauma fucks you up. So are you going to let it fuck you up? Or are you going to figure out, like, what do I need to do about it? How do I diminish it? How do I address it? How do I stop having bad relationships? How do I, you want to have a good relationship, but you also won't take any steps to create new patterns, habits, routines. Find any self-worth. Know that you deserve more. You're worthy of more. Get out of a terrible relationship just because they provide the money, whatever the hell it is. Like, that's just like what you said. A lot of people that I work with, it comes down to, it's way easier to stay miserable and stuck than it is to go through the hardship of taking a chance, putting yourself out there. Like, and people need that control. And the spirit always says the best things happen outside of your circle of trust. Yeah. They're like, if you're not pushing where you want to throw up, like pushing yourself. And if you don't feel like you're going to vomit because you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. If you don't want to throw up, then you are not pushing yourself hard enough. Like, like the comfort, the safety zone might seem great, but it's where you're restricted and held back from everything.
Mm-hmm. I actually took that feeling of that like panic and that like, I can't breathe. I feel like I'm going to throw up on myself. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm crying. I'm so sorry. I'm crying. And it was like, you know what? What's going to happen if I push this? So I started doing things outside of my comfort zone. And I have experienced some fucking amazing things in the last month.
Yep. I mean, not everything works out, but usually if you take that chance and you're like, holy, I took a chance, I went in a mud run. I'm the most unfucking coordinated person you will ever. And I've always been sober when I hurt myself. Always.
That's funny.
But I did it anyways, which fucked up the last how many years of my life. But if I would have done that at 39, would I have, had my kind of spiritual stuff? It's been the last 6 years. So if I wouldn't have done that in 2012, would I have then? You know what I mean? It's like there's this.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. And now that I kind of let spirit just like, whatever, you figure that shit out. I just give it over to them. And there are still lessons. Things are still hard. But now it's like, okay, it's just not in my mind space. I don't have to constantly be thinking about it, worrying about it. How am I going to? I don't give a fuck. It'll happen when it happens. If I'm supposed to do it, it'll do it. The money will be there. The people will be there. The opportunity will be there. You're taking so much pressure off myself. I'm like, fuck, I don't have to do all that shit anymore. It's like the best thing ever. Like, it's such a freedom. Even if you don't want to be an intuitive medium and work with people, like allowing yourself to connect to yourself and your guides and like what the more that is there for you, that is always there, whether you believe it or not. It gives you this freedom, and it just is this awesome place. Even people, if you just implement simple energy protection, clearing, and boundaries every single day, totally life changing.
It helps. It really does. I know.
Okay, so for those not in the Reiki world and kind of the spiritual realm, can you explain that a little bit?
So what I don't even use Reiki anymore, but that was how I started in my spiritual journey. But like how I start my day, and I do the same for my kids, is I start with clearing my energy. So I always say, do you guys want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. Close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. I don't care. Just want you to take deep breaths in. So as you're taking deep breaths in, I'm just asking whoever wants to be around you, because it's only for your highest and best good, angels, goddesses, gods, whatever. Just as you take that deep breath in, I want you to allow yourself to clear anything mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically that is not yours. That's emotions, energy, actions, thoughts, feelings that are coming from other people, from locations, whatever, social media. Allowing you to clear, heal, release, remove it. Just allow. Maybe you feel angels touching you. Maybe you feel a tingly, a warm, a sensation, a cooling. Doesn't matter. Just allow it to be. We got some heavy energy. We're just clearing. We're just going to wait for it to clear. I'm using pendulum, so when it stops, that's when I know. So I just want you to keep really like allowing yourself to release it. I am safe to release whatever I don't need. It is not mine. It is not my problem. It is not my burden. Okay, heart rate's super fucking high. So somebody here is going to have a crazy high heart rate. So now we want to clear you personally, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. Anything of yours that you need to release, clear, heal, remove, let go of, process, understand. anything that needs to come to the forefront, anything that is weighing heavy on you, fear, doubt, worry, burden. I just want you to like feel it. If you feel it in your gut, your solar plexus, just take that next deep breath in and just like kind of feel spirit, angels, whoever it is, just scoop it out of you. Fear, doubt, worry, they're just taking it right out of your gut, your solar plexus, kind of right under the heart space, maybe your whole stomach cavity. Just allow them to pull it out. And as they're just like pulling out the yuck, the sludge, the overwhelm, the panic, the dread, just really, as with each breath out, you're just kind of feeling the like release, the let go. And you're just like, whoosh. It just kind of feels like that whoosh feeling. I want you to feel the whoosh feeling, like, ugh. Okay, so we clear that. So now what I want you to do is we're just going to like infuse new in for the day. What are your intentions? What are your boundaries? I want to connect with the right people. I want to feel connected to myself. I want to meet the right people. I want to allow myself to release or let go. But whatever it is, you could say it in your mind right now. I want to call this in. This is what I want. And then I also want you to state your boundaries. I'm not allowing so-and-so in my energetic space. I'm not going to think about the bad things. I'm not going to worry about how this is going to happen. Creating these boundaries for yourself for the day. So maybe it's a spouse and you're having a fight. You're just not open or available to continue the fight. You want a resolution, whatever it is. That is a boundary you are putting up. So as you feel your intentions coming in, you asking for what you're wanting and what you're no longer allowing, your boundaries, then I want you to just allow whoever is surrounding you still, angels, goddesses, spirit guides, loved ones in spirit, just feel them maybe coming closer, maybe they're holding hands, whatever it is, but they are just going to kind of give you this energy. It might feel like pulsing, and it is going to seal in these intentions and boundaries for you and protect your energy, your mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and energetic self. So nobody is allowed to influence your thoughts, your ideas, your actions, make you feel bad about yourself. So however this protection comes onto you, it might feel like a big bubble, might just feel like a warmth. You do not need to see it, feel it, heal it, like do anything with it. You just need to allow spirit, your spirit guides, your loved ones to put it on you. So with the next deep breath in, I just want you to feel the energy. We're just infusing those intentions into your mind, your body, your soul, your energetic self. You are safe. You are protected. You are safe to be you. You are allowed to be you. You are perfect and worthy and deserving just as you are. You do not need to change who you are, what you do, how you talk to people, what you ask for in this world. Anything you need, want, and desire is available for you. So just feel it, allow it, and we're going to count down from 3. When we get to 0, you might just feel that pulse, the whoosh. You might feel like a swirling energy. Maybe it's a cooling or warmth of our blast. So 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in. And 0, I just want you to feel, maybe you just feel like all these guides and angels, goddesses are just running around you. Maybe it's just like this whoosh, this like breeze, cooling energy. Maybe it's coming in through the top, the crown chakra, just like filling into your body, giving you a warm and fuzzy feeling. However it is, I just want you to keep taking it in, allow it, allow the protection, allow the guidance, and allow yourself the peace, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and energetic. So as you just kind of, maybe you feel them dissipate, moving away from you, maybe the energy is just like, whoosh, where did they go? But just know that you are protected. Your intentions, your boundaries are kind of sealed into your soul for the day, and allow it to be. It's full moon too. So the full moon has a little boost of energy. So like I do that for myself. I do a little bit more with it, but because I protect myself against some certain bigger things, but I do that for my son as well, my daughter, my husband sometimes, but the people in your home, their energy affects your home as well. So clearing your home, clearing your energy, like that simple basic stuff can like just change the whole atmosphere, especially if you have hormonal teenagers.
I don't let people in my home unless I'm really like, I've been.
Yeah, but you have 6 kids who are at school who are bringing.
Yeah, so 4 live here. No, 3 live here now. We're all over the place. We have some of them in Connecticut. Some of us are in Miami. Some of us are in Myrtle Beach. Some New Jersey. Yeah, the Miami one's having a blast right now. But I have to ask, how much of this basis, it has a very, very, very close feeling to some of the Wiccan traditions?
I have absolutely nothing to do with anything witch, and nothing related.
They have a lot of the same kind of practices in terms of.
I know that past life things are very similar, but I have a very big witch wound aversion. I don't do anything witch wise, so that's wounds that I'm still working through in past lives. It's just not time for me to do so. But they've been bringing, like, I allow spirit to, whatever needs to happen, happen. So in past lives, there's a lot of galactic things. There's a lot of whatever people need. So that was part of my healing process, was really no control. So I couldn't control anything with spirit. The more I tried to control spirit stuff, the more they pulled back. Like, my lips are like so swollen. I don't know. I'm allergic to this toothpaste. I feel like I just had yeah, I'm allergic to the toothpaste. So like, see,
what toothpaste is it?
Like sensitive mouth.
Sensitive?
No, it's like a sensitive mouth one, like
really?
The first one. Yeah. So I just feel my lips swelling, and then my mouth's getting all dry. I'm like, Jesus. But so I really allow what I had created when I started my spiritual gift started to enhance. I had to let go of control, and control was something that I had uber, from a very young age. But then after my mom died at 16, very strict control. So spirit was like, no, you can't have control. So I really had to start letting spirit do whatever and trust. And it was a very hard thing for me to trust. It's something technically I can see, but technically you can't see. When I can't trust humans, why should I be able to trust? So it was a practice, and so I really just allow for, whether it's me, I have a session, having a session with somebody, whether I'm mentoring, whether they're in my programs, it's just very open. So all kinds of unhinged shit happens when I work with people, because it's just whatever you need or want, and spirit, they pipe up. It might not be what you want to hear or whatever, but it's what you need.
Yeah. That's so awesome that you found a direction like that not just helps you, but helps so many people.
Yeah.
How do people reach out to you?
Vintage Moons is my website. So otherwise I'm on most social medias, and it's like Erin Vintage Moons or Vintage Moons Erin. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube,
any email that people...
Yeah. Erin, ERIN at vintagemoons.com. So
because I just feel like at this point in the show, people would they're going to be those people that are going to want to talk to you and see definitely find out.
And I have tons of free clearings. I have a whole bunch of free ones, and I have a free if you want to experience a past life, I have a free guided meditation on there to do that as well. You do need to know what you're doing working with spirit. If you want to go in and work in your past lives with intention, but that doesn't mean that I always very much had past life flashes my whole life. I just didn't get it. But now I since I do the work, it happens fast. So somebody's talking to me like, oh, past life, I already see the past life, but your past lives are, there's a lot hidden in there, but there's a lot of yucky stuff, but there's a lot of amazing stuff to bring forward too. So, it's like wherever you're at on your journey, you have to give it the old college try one more time, and, just throw it out. Who or what do I need? What is going to help me heal or whatever? If you can't manifest, get out of relationships. What do I really need? Honestly, 98% of the time, it comes down to self-empowerment, taking care of yourself, knowing what you're worth and deserving. Stop allowing yourself to stay in bad relationships, jobs. A lot of it is building yourself up for. That's what Spirit's in my membership. We've been working on this connection to self and purpose, this kind of series, but it's really this, connection to yourself, who you really are, your real power, in operating in that every single day, not just I know I'm strong and I know, but no, exude it, put it out into the world, which is not what we're taught. We're taught to be demure and hold yourself back and don't brag. And it's no, because if you can't brag about who you are, what you do, and how, then why would anybody else think that you're worthy of it? So, it's finding that power within yourself and just throw it out to God's spirit universe. What do I need? Who do I need? Is it a method? Is it I want to heal. I want to feel better. I don't want all these burdens on my soul. So, it's be open.
Yeah.
I feel like being open to everything that kind of gets put in front of you, because there are the little paths that kind of come up and you're just oh, wait, I'm supposed to be doing this. And it kind of leads you to where you're supposed to go. Those little glimmers.
Yeah. I mean, if you keep seeing breathwork everywhere, it's time to check out a breathwork session. Do one online. Like those little signs are not just like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of that episode. No, that is your spirit guide saying, hey, stupid, we're here. You should do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's really those things, you know? And if you're like, oh, I don't know, like, just try it. Like, what's the worst going to happen? It is the worst experience of your life. Okay. Or it could be like, holy fuck, that's exactly, like, I feel rejuvenated and changed. Like, you know, be open. Because you have to allow yourself to be open to receive what you need, too. Like, guidance, support, mentor, whatever. Investing in yourself, investing not just money, but time and energy in yourself. Like, it's all part of the bundle.
And people are so afraid of change, and they think that they're ready to be open.
Oh, I can't spend money on myself, so I should take my kids. And it's like, why? Like, do they have what they need? Then why can't you do something for yourself?
Yeah, you have to be the best.
That's where I am
to help them.
Like, do they really need another Under Armour sweatshirt? No, they can have the $20 one, and I will get the. You know, you're just like, crap. But you know, you have to come to those points, and it's just like, no, like.
Yeah,
I'm not a bad mom because I don't buy them another video game or give them points and whatever with the stupid game they're playing, Roblox or whatever crap. It's like, no.
Fortnite.
Scrub a toilet and then I'll give you some fucking scrub a toilet. Prove to me how much you want it. You know what I mean?
And what's wrong with that? Because that's how we were raised. We were raised with expectations that you contributed to your home. Now all of a sudden it's like, what? You want me to clean what?
Oh my God.
What's wrong with you?
I'll do it later.
I
didn't eat off with all those plates.
The one that killed
me.
when
it's sitting right next to him.
I didn't. Those aren't all my dishes.
Yes.
They'll, like, my son will go and they'll just do like the one that they use.
Yeah. And they never do the spoon or the fork.
Yeah. No, they leave that there. And then I'm like, well, you know what? If I were to do that, let's say I only wash and do what I use, dude, we'd be living in a filthy house.
Yeah.
We'd have no laundry, no dishes done. Everything would be.
Who else is down to no spoons? I had to eat Fruit Loops the other day with a measuring spoon because I'd already poured the milk, and I'm like, motherfucker,
they throw them away.
Yeah, it was forks for a long time. Now it's spoons. I was like, all right, these Fruit Loops are going to waste because that milk has been sitting in there, and don't use a measuring spoon for it because it doesn't work. I was like pouring it. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Because I was like pouring down here. I was like, there's no spoons. I was like, I can't use a fork.
That's when we started investing in disposable forks and spoons. I was like, you know what? When they're old enough that not everything they see goes in the trash, then we can talk about getting normal silverware.
Or nice furniture or stuff you don't have to cover up. It's like, there is no point. Literally, my recliner that I sit in when I recover from surgeries, it sits like this now because my son like sits in it and like falls back. And then like the recliner part, like it's like this because the arms are all broken off. And I was like, dude. And no remote has a back on it in this house. Not one.
Oh, no. So we went to like a cheer competition one weekend, and Jen came home and her brand new TV had this huge crack on it. And her son's response, who was the only person home at the time.
Person home. No one else was.
I didn't do it. I wasn't in the living room.
I didn't do it. And then he goes, you got no proof. And I was just like, well, there you go. There's my proof right there. Thank you, buddy. How
about you got no house to live in? You know?
Yeah, and he broke it.
Well, it wasn't cracked before we left, and now it's cracked when we came back.
Swinging around a metal bat because, you know, that's what you do in the living room, you know, and then and then shut it off. And I didn't know for a few days until like I sat my.
Well, and he sure as hell wasn't going to turn on that TV. He's not stupid.
I sat my son down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go make your breakfast. Just watch like, I don't know. I was like Bluey or I don't know, some cartoon. And then he was like, Mom, TV. And I was just like, what? I just bought the TV. I just bought the TV. Like, I think we hadn't even had it a month. I was.
She said, I just took it out of the box and it's got a big old crack in it.
We did not realize. We took a whole month to turn it on, and this is what happened.
So we were remodeling the room, and now that it's done, there's kind of a big crack in it.
It came like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Deny.
You got no proof.
See? Dylan was teaching you right there.
You're gonna have to put a little nanny cam in the. I know our like little Simply Safe camera in the kitchen. We kind of have it for the remaining dog, but it kind of sees into the living room, so it would give a little. You know, my son does the VR thing. It's like he punches shit all the time. I'm like, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching those YouTube videos of people playing the VR. It's like, oh, yeah, you knew that was going to happen. Come on. You walked right into that wall on purpose. There's no way you didn't see that coming. Come on. Half of these people, like, really? You didn't think to move the glass table?
I know. Like, really?
Yeah.
You wanted to fall through that glass table? Okay, go for it.
And why are you punching so close?
Yeah, my
to
son
your
will do the
TV?
boxing, and it's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, dude, that's sad. What was I doing the other day? He walked up a thing of stairs, and he's like, no, it was my daughter, because she's not talking to me, and she's at her boyfriend's. I'm like, here's your birth control. And, you know, can you take it this time? Because we're fighting about IUD versus birth control. She doesn't take it. And her boyfriend's house, I was like, 2 sets of stairs. And I'm really tired. I'm like, dude, if you're tired from coming downstairs, then probably time to exercise a little bit, you know.
Just a little bit.
Like, you're literally doing nothing.
Sending.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck.
Gravity's
man.
helping you.
We're screwed. You know, when we're old, that we're screwed. Like,
You know, we've talked about this.
Yep.
You realize we're leaving the Tide Pod generation to run our country, right?
Yeah. Oh, my God. I know.
I'm like,
I don't like my job. I'm just going to quit. Like, I did when I did my daughter's
this
taxes.
is too
She's
hard.
19. I had 6 fucking W-2s for her when I did my taxes.
And people say there's no jobs out there.
She's like, I just
The
don't like
19-year-old got
like,
6 of them.
Yeah. Oh my God.
you should probably, like, you know. I'm like, stop quitting, because she'll just have these excuses. Or all of a sudden, the last one was she worked at a nursing home, and she's like, oh, they gave me the weekend off. I'm like, fuck two, did you quit or did you get fired? And she's like, no, it's my birthday weekend, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
She quit.
Yeah, because she didn't like somebody she worked with. And I'm like,
That's awesome. That's a teenager for you.
Yeah, I've had those with my son.
I'm like, I get it, honey, but, you know, you're not like 16 anymore. So, like, you know, it's a hard mix. Hard mix.
You're also talking about a military now that gets a stress card. Well, if you feel, oh yeah. So you can put a card up if you feel like you're being overwhelmed by, like your drill sergeant yelling in your face, or,
Audrey's a vet. They didn't have that when you were there, right, Audrey?
They did not.
No, this is all new. This is for the everyone gets a participation award.
God, can you imagine if somebody fucking throws that card out? They probably get their ass pummeled. Like, they would.
No, they don't.
Punishment.
No. Because then
How
lawsuits
about at your
will
corporate
occur,
job? You get
and then you're psychologically damaging. And all I can say is I look at these people and go, do you understand that these are the people that you're expecting to run out on a battlefield? And
So are they going to all card when they're all go into battle?
throw out these cards and be like,
No, I don't want to do that today.
Stressful, don't shoot.
not prepared.
I changed my mind.
We need cards for life. Fuck it. I don't want to pay this bill today. I'm done. Like, no.
I am not going to this PTA meeting right now. Thank you very much.
Oh.
This is too stressful.
PTA. Oh, no.
Yeah, I've been dealing with my son's school. I hate schools suck.
Yeah, they do. I'm so glad I'm close. Well, maybe. I don't know. We haven't gotten final grades yet. So hopefully it's only 3 more years, but we'll see.
They got one more.
No, but that's been a running theme on this show so far, is that disappointment with school. I think it's across the board. Nobody's come on and said, I really love the public government school my kids are in.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hear the worst thing? So, like, my kids both have ADHD, anxiety. My daughter has ODD, so oppositional defiant disorder, and my son has OCD. So, completely different things, but very similar. So, in my daughter and her ODD really started to hit hard in middle school. Them fucking, it's it's 6th to 8th grade here in middle school. So, they literally told her, who needs some type of structure, like to force, all your grades don't matter till you're in high school. They fucking told her that. Yeah. And a kid with an IEP, like, you know, I mean, they literally told her that. She's like, why? Why would I do any of this work? It doesn't matter until high school. So do you think that fucking kid did any work in any 3 years? No.
I mean,
it's like,
but
why
for
the
real, I
fuck
would
would
never
you
either.
tell somebody like that?
Why would you commit so much time and energy into something that somebody basically told you doesn't even matter? Like, all right,
Any kid would
years
be
of my
like,
life.
fun. No more homework. Thanks.
Well, that's why we pulled our kids from the state testing, because we're like, you're not doing the stupid test. It doesn't nothing to you.
Well, all it does is give the fucking school funding. I don't give two shits. You can fucking put zeros on all the levels. I don't give two fucks what they could do with those stupid tests. Like, it just here, like how they use it is that's how much money they get. So
Where's here? Are you
Iowa.
Oh, you're not okay.
So the better that they do, the more funding that they get.
Yeah.
Like the dumber the kids are, then. And that's not even dumb. I didn't go to law school for a reason. I can't take tests. Like, I could have made it through law school, no problem. But going to take a bar, there's no way. So I don't give a shit about tests. It means nothing. But here in Iowa, all the schools get all their funding based off of how well you do on the Iowa test of basic skills. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're really judging, like, how much money. Like, they don't even have reading programs here anymore. Like, reading teachers, reading programs, reading help.
How many families I've met where the parents are the ones doing the homework. I'm like, are you so proud of your third grader's assignment being completed by you? Like, this is ridiculous. What is your kid learning? And you are now establishing this like state where you are responsible for waking them up, putting them on the bus, working, and then doing their homework when they get home and go to sleep? No.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I went to school. I got my education. Whether it's an education that people agree with or not is beyond me. It did what it needed to do for myself and my family, so they can go fuck themselves. Yeah. But I don't need to do my kids' homework. If they want to pass or if they want to fail, is up to them. No one did my stuff for me. It was done, or if it wasn't done, and I was the one that suffered the consequences from it.
Yeah.
And I know these teachers do call you and they treat you like it's you. Like you are the reason that your child is not successful. You are the reason that they are failing. Bro, you don't know me from
like you are the one that took them 8 hours a day. Like, if you're like, I had such a problem with the kids because like, I'm like, so I remember asking Bella's teacher, I was like, do you think she needs ADHD medicine? Just fucking be honest with me. You are with her 8 hours a day. I said, if she needs help, I want to get her help. I said, and she's like, well, I can't really tell you. I'm like, I need an answer. Well, I might take her to the doctor. That is not a fucking answer. Oh, my mom, she's flashing the lights. Did you see it? Like,
the doctor will actually but the doctor will give you a form for the fucking teachers to fill out.
But like, none of my kids' teachers ever, and Ethan has had an IEP, my son, since preschool, like for speech, for a lot of different things. None of them, because they don't want to be held liable. I'm like, be fucking honest with me. If you think my kid's a fucking asshole, tell me my kid's a fucking asshole. If you think that like their ADHD is not, so I'm always like, okay, they're taking this medicine. If you see a change, I need you to be the one to tell me, because they are not going to tell me what's really going on in their brain. Like, so I always ended up hooking up with the teachers and whatever, the assistants in the classroom.
Right.
They will be honest with you. They will be like, hey, I've been helping her with her work. She's been staying on task. Like, no, she's, so like if you hook up, if your kids, like, especially in grade school, have a extra assistant in the classroom, hook up with that person. That person has less to lose by being honest. And let's be honest, they make like $9 fucking an hour. They don't really probably give two fucks if they lose their job or not. So,
like I helped a child on the way out.
But I got more help from the classroom helpers than I ever did from a teacher. Like, just be honest. If my kid's a total dick, I need to know if my kid's a total dick. But, like, I need you to be honest. But some people are just so, oh my God, I can't believe you said about my kids. Like, dude, if my kid's being a dick, I need to know my kid's being a dick. I know my kid's a dick to me, but if he's a dick to other people, then we got to hold him on the problem, Like, I can't help them if you don't tell me. You are the one that is trained to work with them all day long. That is not my job.
When they fall into some type of situation. So my 9-year-old, who is very sensitive and very kind of like, she has like outbursts and stuff. She laughed at a little boy during a class while he was singing. It is something that we were working with her on, just kind of like those.
Her nervous habit.
Correct.
That's my son's too. So he got in trouble for a lot of the same.
And the teacher called her dad and basically did not even give like a story, was just like, your daughter did this and she permanently damaged this child who's an amazing singer, and your daughter doesn't even move her mouth And she laughed at him. And at first I had that initial, what the fuck is my kid doing? Response, because I'm just hearing what's being relayed to me. And I had to take a minute because I do have a bad habit of like reacting.
Yeah.
A little too full force. So I took a minute and I might have said some stuff I shouldn't have said to her initially. But then I was like, wait, I want to know what happened. So you tell me what happened. And then she gave a totally different story. So then it became, well, this story seems more like something that the teacher instigated into a situation where it led to this. And it became an argument between her father and I. Because for me now, it's, why would you just assume that what you were being told was the situation? Like, you have a child that's more than capable of speaking for herself. And that portion never occurred.
And you know her enough to know, like, what is in and out of their realm of, you know, like reality, you know what I mean? And so my son is like exactly the same. So I had to literally sit with teachers every year. I'm like, his nervous habit is laughing. He needs control of time. You know what I mean? Like so I literally gave him like a diagram. This is my son. His anxiety is severe. He has a picture of me and Super.
We did this.
He has an angel. Like, in literally sitting with I sat with the teachers, his IEP people. And so in grade school, like, your IEP person is different than high school and grade school, or in high school and middle school. But like, and I was not nice about it either. I did not allow wiggle room with it. I'm like, if he did something, then he, you know, but you need
all the pieces.
Yeah.
Because if you looking from the outside and just seeing the portion where she started laughing at the boy when he started singing, you would think that kid's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But when you hear from the start of class to the end of class, then it's kind of like, well, were you being cognizant of everyone in the classroom, or are you prejudiced to that kid's emotions over my child's, who we've year after year, and she's been in the school district for long enough for you guys to understand this, we've explained that she exhibits these behaviors.
Yeah.
So you care enough for this kid to advocate for him, care enough for my daughter to advocate for her, and to not shout her out in front of a classroom when she already deals with anxiety and embarrassment.
Yeah.
So I kind of think it's your fault. And so if you want to blame and point fingers at who permanently damaged this kid, you can thank yourself.
Yeah. And some of those teachers, like, they just don't like your kids, you know? And I had a few of them. I get it. Like, not everybody likes everybody. I get it. But, like, you know,
But you're a teacher and you need to be like, kids, and you need to be respectful of all the kids that are you're around. I just had an issue with my son at school with pushing. And, you know, he came home from school crying and was like super upset. And I asked him what happened. And he said, you know, that there was a disagreement during kickball and that this kid pushed him. So we in my house teach, you're not going to let someone beat you up.
Yep.
If someone pushes you, you push them back. Like, and I know that's not like PC, but
who cares?
But you're not
for yourself. Say no.
The teacher that was on the field was talking to another teacher, so they didn't see the beginning of the thing. So because more kids said that my son instigated the fight, he instigated the fight. And I'm like, he is so shy. He doesn't talk to people. He's really mellow. He is not someone that like goes and like hits people. But yet, because they're just going by what kids are saying. But I was like, but then I heard a story that there was like a punching fight from other kids. And like, you know, so I'm like, you get so many stories from someone else is talking about slapping. So, I mean, how do you know really what happened if you didn't actually see it with your own eyes? But they always just kind of go with the majority, which sometimes is not right.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy too, because even if they don't love your kid, like, they know your kid's characteristics. Like, if your kid hauls out and punches somebody every time, probably. But if your kid never gets any skerfuffles, and all of a sudden, you know, that should be a red flag. Like, maybe I need to ask.
No, they didn't even like ask about it. There was no like conflict resolution or anything, which is like, it's bullshit. Like, you need to kind of like, you know, if there's going to be an issue between kids, like, squash it there. Yeah. Don't go pussyfoot around it. Like, figure out what the issue is and talk about it. You know, it's just a little ridiculous.
Yep.
So that was quite a show. We circled out some intuitive medium and schooling and where we are and grounding ourselves and clearing ourselves and kind of protecting ourselves from what the outside world
working with your energy.
We don't have to. We can't. It is okay to bring yourself and your own needs and wants and desires to the forefront in order to be the good human that you need to be. And holy shit, we covered all of that in an hour.
Self-empowerment, finding your purpose.
It is. And manifest destiny, you have to put that good out and you have to be willing to make those changes and embrace it. It's scary, but nothing in life worth doing didn't start off not being scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to push yourself to the unknown to kind of really figure out what you're supposed to be doing here.
Yeah.
Yep. Safe zone is boring.
Safe
zone yourself or go outside and do all the good shit or stay in the safe zone.
No, I'm all about opening that box and exploring what's out there because I want to know. I want to know it all. I want to feel it all. I want to love it all. And I want to go to my grave knowing that the life I lived was filled with memories. My kids are not I'm not just going to die and like, dude, they're going to have fucking stories about me and be like, that, your grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about having those memories and those special times and kind of just let
it be everybody's favorite picture. I tell people all the time, I'm going to live forever because I've made so many people.
I don't
eventually, but eventually, years from now, one of these fucking kids are going to be reborn and look just like me, have my personality. And it's like, haha, I had to make 6 of you, but I'll get there again one day.
I know, like my son, I had to have a quick C-section, and they're like, oh my God, they come out of you looking like you, Frank. My husband's name is Frank. And I was like, that's such bullshit.
Right?
9 months of throwing up and diabetes and all, and they come out looking like him. No, that's fun.
Mine all look like me pretty much. So I got strong genes.
Oh, look, now we got into genetics.
There we go.
And thank you so much, Erin, for joining us today on Rule 42. Yeah, I'm Audrey. I have to get ready for a ranger.
Yeah,
have a good month, summer, whenever.
You too. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Erin.
Bye,
Erin. It was great.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. What? One more thing. Okay. So I know we did this in the middle, but is there any other way if people needed to reach out to you that they can get to you, or is there anything else that you yourself wanted to promote?
No. I mean, I have sessions. I have like past life programs. I have like higher level intuitive programs, private mentoring, and all the good stuff.
Well, so definitely hear that, people. Reach out to Erin if you ever want to get into this realm, and she will be your Ascension mentor.
Yes. Vintage moons, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Erin.
Thanks.
Have a good week. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
1, 2, 3, 42.
We covered all the grounds there.
Whoa.
We really did. We were all over the place.
That was very interesting. We all had a little bit of a clearing. I think that's my first clearing ever.
Oh, no.
Feel
Awesome.
feel clearer. How about you guys? Do you
It
feel
made
clearer?
me cry.
Everything
That was
makes you cry,
cool.
Jen.
Because you forget that you bring on so much of what's going on that has absolutely nothing to do with
Yes.
what's going on in your own world.
Yeah.
And you hold on to it and you don't realize it. So, I totally get.
I know Jen's done some energy work. I'm kind of new to it and learning about it, but
Yeah,
yes,
I've been-
clearing negative energy. We've talked about this. You walk in a room and you can feel the bad energy. Like, this is no good. And that it did kind of feel like just getting rid of some kind of, little bit
It
of.
does. It weighs
awesome.
you down.
It does.
really does. And it's just great to get rid of it and just kind of breathe.
Again,
So-
this is why I keep my circle small, and people that are invited to my house, it's because I can handle what they're
The
bringing
energy. Yeah.
around
Yeah.
me.
And if it doesn't work, you just lock them in the fucking dog room. So
Or
they
we
lock
lock them in the
themselves.
house.
Or they can lock themselves in the dog
you go.
room because she wasn't even home.
refer to earlier episodes as my dilemma at Audrey's house.
Done.
But Erin was a great guest, and I loved finding out more about her realm and what she's into. So That was awesome.
Like and share, spread it around.
Yeah,
Rule 42.
coming at you.
1, 2, 3, 42.
Rule 42 is hosted by Audrey Cruz and Jen Burke. It is produced and edited by Tom Smith. The opening song is Rule 42 by Eddie Carr. Rule 42's artwork was created by Aubrey Cruz. And I'm your announcer, Molly Smith. Thank you for listening to Rule 42. We hope you enjoyed the show. New episodes premiere every Thursday on all podcast platforms. Please subscribe, share the show, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple.